Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be doing a comparison between a 2021 Lexus LS 500 and a 2021 Genesis G90. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to Genesis of Sandy for giving me some time with this G90. Check out the inventory link below. Let's get into the video. Now first off, before I get into anything, I do want to mention that Genesis of Sandy will be getting a G90 Ultimate soon that has the 5-liter V8. In that video, I'll make a ton of comparisons to the LS 500 because that one's a little bit more comparable. But aside from that, let's get into everything. So first off, with the LS 500, we have a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now, fuel economy is 17 around town and then 27 on the highway, with power outputs being 416 horsepower and then 442 pound-feet of torque. Now, popping over here to the G90, this particular one has the twin-turbo 3.3-liter V6, goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission, fuel economy 17 around town and then 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 365 horsepower and 376 pound-feet of torque. But if you get the G90 Ultimate, that gives you the 5-liter V8 that has 420 horsepower, 383 pound-feet of torque, which again, engine-wise is more comparable to what we have here in the Lexus. But anyways, that's under the hood of the G90. And then that's under the hood of the LS 500. Now let's go over the front ends of both of the cars. We'll start over here with the LS 500, and you guys will be pretty familiar with this design language because it's just basically Lexus's normal design language. You have the pretty cool looking LED lights here with the crazy accent light that mimics the Lexus logo. Parking sensors along the front. You've got the Lexus logo that also doubles as a sensor. You've got tons of really cool venting here. But again, it looks pretty much identical to a lot of other Lexus models. So for example, super similar to like the LC 500 on the front end perspective, or even something like an IS, or you know, the old GS. So yeah, there's a lot. But anyways, coming over here to the G90, you can see that we have Genesis's styling that looks super similar to what you get with Bentley. So first off, notice we've got the line here that kind of goes and wraps around the Genesis logo, and then we've got the other body line here off to the side, and then we've got these pretty square-ish looking headlights, and what I mean is just like how kind of sharp they are with the edges. And you've got the LED accent light in the middle of that, parking sensors along the front end. We've got the sensor integrated into the front, so both cars have sensors that are kind of integrated into the grille. This one, they do it into the grille, that one into the logo, and then we've got more venting here down below. What I will say is both of them are good looking from the front end perspective, but this definitely commands more road presence. It definitely kind of has this more like upscale look. The Lexus looks great, but I mean, it looks like any other Lexus, whereas this, it looks like a Bentley, it really does. Now popping here to the side, we've got 20-inch wheels on the Lexus, we've got 19-inch wheels on the Genesis, and funny enough, the wheels on the Genesis look like they're so much bigger than the wheels on the Lexus, but the Lexus actually has bigger wheels. Anyways, 245mm tires in the front, 275 in the back, 245 in the front, 275 in the back. So even though the wheels are a little bit different in size, the tire size is the same. Now as for the Genesis wheels, obviously they've definitely gone for that like super kind of like old school luxury car wheel design, which I think looks fantastic. Definitely commands road presence. And then we've got the little LED accent light there that is for the turn signal on the side. As for the Lexus wheels, this one has the F Sport package, so it has the sporty looking wheels, which I think look great with the coloration. But again, like that kind of like screams sports car, whereas that screams like luxury car, right, from a design perspective. And then you guys can see here off to the sides, kind of like the body lines and everything. Again, everything's more like squared off, whereas everything's kind of like sharper there on the Lexus. And the mirror design really shows it, because like look how rounded the mirror is there, whereas the Lexus, everything's kind of sharp from a mirror design perspective. But let's head to the rear. Now let's go over the key fobs quickly. So we've got the Genesis key fob right here. Notice we've got kind of like the same functions on both of them. Now the LS 500 does have remote start. You press the lock button a couple times and then hold it. Whereas the G90, I don't see a remote start button. So let me know if I'm wrong in the comment section down below, but I don't see anything. Funny enough, both of them have leather on the key fobs. Both of them have nice metallic trim. I would say that they're both like equally nice from a key fob perspective. But that being said, let's open her up and let's see if I can do this without dropping it. I don't think I can. I think I'm gonna drop one of them by accident. Okay, I gotta cheat quickly. There we go. Didn't want to drop a key fob because, I mean, these things are probably like $400 or $500, guys, just saying. But there's the trunks. I picked a really bad area for this video because there's totally a pole right there in the middle. But anyways, let's go over the storage space. So first off, notice we got this nice metallic plaque. You guys can see storage space back here. Absolutely massive. We have a first aid kit. We've got all of our floor mats here in the back. And if we pick all that up, you guys can see under here, with all that, we had tons of storage space, and then also closes automatically. Now popping over here to the Lexus, well, our first aid kit got loose, apparently, but yeah, tons of storage space, metallic plaques. It's almost like they're copying each other in a weird way. And then there's, you guys saw that in my review of this car, there's some more storage space under there. Not gonna pull it up because it's kind of a pain. So I guess it's easier to pull up the tab there on the Genesis, so I guess it's got that going for it. No lock button here on the Lexus, but you can still lower down the trunk, and yeah, that's that. Now let's go over the rears of both of the cars. We're gonna start over here with the G90. So again, they kind of stole that Bentley styling. Got the crazy taillights here with the Genesis logo. You've got the G90 logo, four-wheel drive, parking sensors on the bottom, and then you've got the coverings there for the exhaust tips. And again, it's kind of more squared off. Now coming over to the Lexus, you can see there's a lot more lines right there, kind of make things look a little bit sharper. Got Lexus's signature taillights that again mimic the logo. Parking sensors on the back, we've got our F Sport logo, all that fun stuff. So yeah, I would say that both of them look pretty good from a back end perspective. I don't know if I could pick a winner, but they both look cool. So here's the door panel in the G90. Notice you got really nice leather trim here at the top with the stitching and the piping, wood trim, and then more nice trim that goes through the door handle. You can see the nice leather trim throughout. The controls really nice. Speaker for the sound system looks fantastic, and then even wood trim on the back of the seat. And then you guys can see here the seats got the really nice quilted design there that kind of goes into lines. Nice perforated leather, and we'll pop in here. First off, legroom is great. I will say that. And also, if I want even more legroom, I can just press that button, because you know what? Whoever's in the front seat, they can suck it, because this is the Ben Hardy show. But popping here, we've got quite a few controls. So notice that you've got this for the front seat right here. We've got our climate controls here for the rear. We've got our heated seat controls. We've got that for the sunshade in the back. Radio controls as well. Really nice leather here. It says Genesis. And then you've got the kind of like center console with USBs, all that kind of stuff. And again, this is kind of like a chauffeur car, so that's kind of what it's all about. And then we've got some more 12 volts right here. In the past, this would have been like, you know, ashtrays, but now 12 volts because, well, we've traded cigarettes with phones. But anyways, you guys can see you've got the tray right there. Overall, definitely a nice place to be. I accidentally turned on the volume right there. But yeah, overall, the rear seating area is definitely really nice. So here's the door panel on the Lexus. Really nice leather here at the top, and cool material down here as well with the speaker for the sound system. Got Alcantara because this is the F Sport, and then notice we got more leather. And then here's with these seats, you got the mix between like the Alcantara and the leather. Looks really nice. Again, kind of more towards the sporty side, but we'll pop in, and we can do the same thing here where we can move the seat in front of us, which is pretty cool again because we matter more than them. So got a little storage tray. We have a full little outlet there, a couple of vents, and then some extra storage space, and then we got this for the shade. But notice we don't have any climate controls back here. We don't have any radio controls or anything like that. So the G90 actually has a little bit more in the back seat department, but I will say it's just as comfortable back here with the seats and everything. So yeah, but let's head to the front of the G90. Now here's the door panel for the front of the G90. Notice we've got the leather trim right here with the wood trim down below. More leather in this area, and you guys can see all the window controls right there. Memory seats, and then the speaker for the sound system here in the front looks great. And then here are the seats at the front. You guys can see full leather here with the perforated leather. You got the quilted design. And then coming down below, we've got all of our controls there on the side of the seat. Pedals. And then you've got this for like the gas cap, the trunk, the parking brake. We've got our lane keep assist. We've got our blind spot monitoring, stability control. Steering wheel is automatically adjustable, and there's where we're looking before we pop in. Here's our steering wheel in the G90. We've got really nice leather all around the steering wheel with the Genesis logo there in the center portion. And then we've got like our pages button. We've got our controls there for the adaptive cruise control, volume, voice command controls, paddles there on the back. Stock for the lights and turn signal, and then windshield wiper stock, and yeah. That's all for the steering wheel. We've got our gauge cluster here. We've got analog gauges on either side, and then we have the screen there in the center, which you can scroll through a couple of different menus as well with the screen. Pretty normal stuff for most modern cars. Now we do have some different drive modes we can go into. We've got Comfort, Sport, Eco, and then the Custom, and notice that this screen kind of turns red when you go into the Sport mode, for example. The one thing I will say is these gauges look pretty normal. There's nothing like too bespoke about them or anything like that, which is kind of interesting because in some of the, you know, more recently redesigned models with Genesis, they kind of have more custom looking gauges. I've got the infotainment system here, which I absolutely love. You guys know I'm a huge fan of any of the infotainment systems within the Genesis, Hyundai, Kia brands. They just do a really good job. Response time is great, and I like how this infotainment system is actually under this little cover because it makes it so you don't get crazy glare. Like normally I'd get crazy glare because of how the lighting is, but because the infotainment system has that little hood over it so that you guys can see it's like probably like half a hand length, it actually helps out quite a bit. And then on top of that, we'll pop it into reverse. So you guys can see we've got the backup camera with the bird's eye view, and then we have the other viewpoints here with the camera. So really good from a camera perspective. You can pretty much see all around, which is great. It's kind of expected in this segment. And then also we have a little camera view button which we can press that'll determine what comes on. But anyways, great infotainment system. Response time's great. And sorry about that, camera doesn't want to capture it, and I think like how they've put it into the dash is also really cool. We've got a nice wood trim down below. We've got a clock right here. We've got analog controls for the infotainment system. We've got our climate controls right here, and then we've got the shifter for that 8-speed automatic. And notice we've got a giant P for park, which is kind of funny. And then that's the camera view button, the parking sensors, auto hold, the drive modes, and then this is the analog controls for the infotainment system. So if you don't want to control it via the touchscreen function, you can use these little dials right here. The one thing I will say is the glare on these buttons is pretty harsh. Like if the sun hits it right, it's kind of blinding a little bit. And then same down here, you guys probably can't see, but I actually have the cooled seat on, which you kind of have to like hover your hand over so you can actually see that the light is illuminated. Got some cup holders right here. Wireless, this is ingenious. Wireless phone charger like under this little covering right here. And you've got like a little charging area, but like I like how it's integrated, because then if you don't want to see it, you can cover this all up. But then, yeah, just really smart with that. And then you guys can see we've got the center console right here. We've got the button here at the front, and that opens up either side. Really nice leather trim, stitching all throughout, wood trim all over, which is great. And then also with the dash, really nice trim, nice leather down below. Got the glove box, nice metallic trim right there for the handle on the glove box. And then even the dash, you guys can see. And like I said, the infotainment system's right there. So it's cool how that is all integrated. But yeah, really nice material use and then design as well. And then we'll finish things up here at the very top. We've got our traditional sunroof. There's no sunroof in the back. Nice headliner as well, so that's definitely a huge plus. Regular mirror, and then we've got the sunglass holder right there. But yeah, definitely nice. But let's head over to Lexus. Here's the door panel on the front of the Lexus. Similar design and everything is what you get in the rear. Now the biggest difference, obviously, well, we got like memory seats and all that stuff, is the fact that the speaker here doesn't look that cool. Like, you got a cool speaker in the back, but not in the front. It's kind of interesting. Seats are really nice, very comfortable. I will say these seats do feel a little bit softer compared to the seats in the Genesis, but this car also has some mileage on it, and so I'm wondering if that's just because there's been a bunch of butts in the seat, so then it's kind of like worn in a little bit, and once you have a bunch of butts in that seat, then, well, it'll wear in nicely too. So I don't know, but anyways, just thought I'd mention that. Controls there on the side. Then you got the pedals just down below, and then you've got like the gas cap here, the release for the trunk, the hood. That's for the heads-up display. And notice the trim right here is definitely nice. And then you've got leather all around. And yeah, automatically adjustable steering wheel, but there's one more look before you pop in. So we've got our steering wheel here in the LS. Notice we've got leather at the top and at the bottom, and then perfect leather on the sides. Got all of our controls for the cruise control. It has lane keep assist and all that, steering assist, all that stuff. And then we've got like the pages button, volume controls, voice command controls, paddles on the back. Stock for the winch wipers, turn signal, lights, all that fun stuff. And yeah, that's it. We've got our gauge cluster right here, and we've got some different drive modes. We've got the snow mode, for example, and then we've got our comfort and eco mode. Then we have a normal and our custom, and then we've got our sport and then our sport plus mode. I I would say from a gauge cluster perspective, this definitely looks a whole lot cooler. It looks a little bit more custom. And then you can move the gauge cluster over, which is another cool thing. But again, they offer that in like lower down packages with Lexus, so it's not like it's special to the LS, but it still looks cool, right? Now here's your infotainment system. First off, I'm gonna pop it into reverse. You guys can see we've got the backup camera and we've got parking sensors, but that's it. We don't have any bird's eye view or anything like that, just standard backup camera with the LS. Now aside from that, you guys can see the touchscreen response time is pretty good. It's not as quick as what you get over in the Genesis, but I mean, it gets the job done. You guys can see it does a pretty good job, and there is a keypad where you can control stuff, and it seems like the response time with the keypad is a little bit better, so I kind of find myself using the keypad and the buttons, and then sometimes using the touchscreen, just depending on exactly what I want to do. So I kind of use both in conjunction, whereas with the Genesis, I usually just use like one or the other. Got some leather down here with the vents, stop start button, all that fun stuff. Definitely cool from a design perspective, as you can see. Got our climate controls here at the front. We've got our shifter for that 10-speed automatic. You do have a manual shift function. And then here's that little keypad I was telling you guys about earlier. And then we have the controls for like the seat adjustments, the heated cooled seat function, and the sunshade. And then this is just to cover up the cup holders. And then we've got the center console, which is, I'd say, cooler than the one in the Genesis because it has like the double flip function, which is unique. I mean, you don't really see that all that often. And then as for the glove box, pretty normal. But yeah, just like the Genesis, we've got tons of nice leather trim all around. This is for the drive modes, by the way, the stocks on the side that make it look like a snail. So yeah, great material use. And then we do have a nice premium headliner here at the top. We do have 2 sunroofs, so we got that. And then we also have mirrors for the back passengers. So we also have that going for us. So 2 sunroofs and mirrors. I guess we're getting a little bit ahead in the Lexus because of that. But anyways, yeah, that's all for the top. Now let's get into pricing with both of the cars. So the Genesis stickers are about $76,000, and then the Lexus stickers for about $88,000. So yeah, there is a $12,000 price difference between both of them. But again, this one doesn't have the ultimate package with the 5.0. That would raise up the price just a little bit. And again, that would be more comparable to the LS 500. But I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below which one you choose, Genesis or Lexus, and why. And yeah, that's all for the comparison. Now let's get some things up for our video comparing the Lexus LS 500 to the Genesis G90. Again, a huge shout and thank you to Genesis of Sandy for giving me some time with the G90. Check out the inventory link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.